Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you a very special treat. On a recent visit to Iowa, a very good friend of mine by the name of Lance caught his first Iowa wiper among a couple of other super fun Iowa firsts. While we were out fishing, we decided to make a game time decision to catch and keep one of the smaller wipers that we caught and turn him into dinner. Now my friend Lance is many things besides being a close friend. He is a general avid outdoorsman. He is an excellent angler, and he is also a master fish cleaner. I don't think there's a kind of fish that he has not cleaned at this point, and he's one of the best that I've ever seen. He's got a great philosophy. He's a very much a waste not, want not kind of fish cleaner, and I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to bring some of his expertise to you all. So fair warning, if you are a little squeamish, this video is cleaning of a fish and does a little bloody and a little gory. But again, you know, it's cleaning a fish, comes with the territory. So if you're okay with that, we're going to bring you a new segment that I think is going to become a regular segment on the channel titled Drunk Chorin with Lance. Are you ready?
Step one, you crack a beer. Take beer. Put it in your gullet. It's delicious. Step two, get yourself a nice cutting board, fillet knife. Well, technically pre-steps. Get yourself a nice, delicious hybrid wiper bass. Set it on the cutting board. Basically, it's just like cleaning a walleye or a bass or a perch or anything like that nature. So they have a strip of bones that go in the middle, and the rest of it's just rib bones like normal. And so we'll get to clean them. So first step, cut right behind the head, always up at an angle. There's a lot of people that just go straight here, and you miss like a good like half-inch to an inch piece of meat, depending on the size of the fish. Go around the fins, down to the bottom fins, cut across it, all the way to the backbone. I like to flip them over. Same thing on the other side. Like that. Okay. So on so far.
That fin down to the bottom.
Yep. So that's all open. I cut through here, so this is two separate pieces. Right there. We did catch this fish earlier today, so he is been deceased for a little bit, but otherwise he'd be a little bit prettier. But that's okay. So next step is you're gonna come down the backbone, just kind of a superficial cut, and you're gonna follow just the backbone right down, because what we're gonna do after that is we're gonna peel this whole fillet off. But so once you get basically past like the back of the fins, you can shoot straight across. And so there it is. Yeah, I had it there, but and then cut out to the tail. Okay, just like that. So I'm going to repeat the process the other side. Start with the blood, and you'll be able to see it a little bit better on this side as I do it. So I just hold down the fish with my hand, cutting down the backbone here. And when I'm cutting, I have my knife like this. I don't have it straight. I don't have it pointing up. I have it pointing down just like this. So you're basically going just down the backbone just like that. So as we do that, come across to the fins. Like I said, basically you can feel the end of the rib cage. It's basically just past where the bung hole comes out, right? And then come all the way across. Again, same thing with your knife. Push down gently. Cut back and forth. And it'll come just like that. So now I have two fillets, both sides. And now we're just going to basically peel that meat right off the body. So I'll show you this side, and then we'll do another side too. As I'm cutting this, I'm gonna run right over the rib cage here. Sometimes up in here is a little tricky, but we can get her. So you can see, and so the bigger the fish, like with a walleye generally, these bones that come across are pretty easy to cut through, but it depends on the fish. So that. And so here's the rib bones right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on and so forth. So I'm just going to cut past all those. And like I said, it depends on the fish. Some fish have shorter rib bones. I'll cut the guts off there. But here's the rib bones, right? I did a bad job here. I'll try and do better on the other side. But so here's all the rib bones. Just like that. And then they kind of end. And then that's where you get the rest of your belly meat there. Okay. We'll repeat on the other side. Make it look a little bit better. Again, sorry for all the blood. Worse than normal. Go away. Okay, so same thing. So I've already made that first cut. I'm going to cut right down the back. And you can kind of just see me slicing it right off the bone here. I am left-handed, by the way, so it's probably backwards for most people. And cut up into here. And there's, so again, there's the ribs right here. And so I'm literally just following those ribs down and cleaning up the meat that's off of them. This side I did better.
What happens if you don't angle your blade down?
If you don't angle your blade, then you miss a lot of meat. So I will show you actually right now. As you can actually see basically through that meat, through that fish. So that's what you want. If you do it right, then there's minimal loss of meat. So whatever, better product for you, and then also better product for the fish. You're not wasting as much too. So, for poops and giggles, I'm gonna pull off the wings. I don't usually do this. I usually do it on a walleye, but we're gonna do it on this wiper for the heck of it. And so, basically,
I've never had walleye wings. Or sorry, never had walleye wings. I've never had wiper wings.
Never had wiper wings either. But we're gonna try it. So this is my first wiper as well. So, but basically, I have a little bit harder bone in there. But basically, all I'm doing is, I'll show you here in a second once I get it off, is try not to get you. So these fins sat just like this, and all I did was cut right behind them. There's two hard bones that go right in here. You cut through them, and then you basically wrap it around the other side. So now you have what are collectively called wings. Most people just have these on walleyes. So, but there's two good chunks of meat right in here. And then we'll just take the skin off of it, you bread it up, and fry it, and it's freaking delicious. So, we're gonna try that.
Are we doing any wiper cheeks?
I don't think so. I think that we can try it, but I think that they're pretty big. Otherwise, Van will edit this part out. And so again, so they have cheeks, obviously, but it's kind of like a half moon circle. So I go right around it. And again, this context is more for walleyes, I would say. I did clean a walleye earlier. And so, but yeah, this is pretty. This is a little bit different than a walleye. It's a little bit softer than a walleye. But basically, there's your walleye wing. Or, no, sorry, your cheek meat. And then up here, so again, I just cut a half circle, kind of cut down to about the back of the eyeball, and then most of the time you could just kind of peel it off. So I'll show you one more on the other side. Again, clean some of the blood off, poke in, and then right around, and there's a bone that goes right here, so basically you can feel it kind of the whole way. So that's how you feel your half circle there. I'll go this way. Again, down, down. So again, you can kind of see, so here's that whole chunk of meat. And then you can kind of cut to it. And on a walleye, I would just cut right off of it and then peel the skin off. But on these guys, the skin's a little bit harder. And this peels off super nicely. And so we're just going to cut it right off of there. Just like that. So there's your other cheek meat. And that's good. Okay, so that is cleaning it. We're gonna take the skin off now. Okay, so we basically cleaned the fish. So I've taken both fillets off. I've taken the cheeks off, which are right here, And then also I've taken that kind of wing piece off. And so the best part about this is it basically, you don't waste any meat on the fish. I don't know, I've been in cleaning shacks, I've seen so many people, they'll just barely take the fish and they'll basically keep this part of the fish and that's it. They throw the rest of it away. I think that's a waste and kind of a disgrace to the animal that you're eating and keeping. So biggest thing is to keep as much off of it as you can, which is great. And so that's what we're here to do. So moving forward, we have our two wings, or sorry, two cheeks. Those are good to go. Those are already skinless, as you can see. So I will do our wing piece here real quick. And so this is actually pretty easy. A lot of people are kind of not necessarily scared by it, but don't know what they're doing. But basically you can cut right behind that skin. And then basically just take your knife. Again, you're always cutting down. And you're just rolling that skin right off of that piece. And then a whole chunk of skin comes off. I do like to double check it because sometimes, like especially in a walleye, there'll be a little piece in here that doesn't like to come off, but this is actually pretty good. I think that'll be fine because you're not going to eat the fins. You just bread the rest of it and then you eat.
Can you tell them what you do when you fry that piece?
Yep, so when you fry it, I'll be gross. I'm sorry I'm very sweaty, but so you bread it, fry it, it's delicious. It comes out kind of looking something like this. And then when you go to eat it, you take it like this and you literally put the whole piece in your mouth and just slide it off those two bones that I mentioned earlier. So there's two pieces in here and you just slide that whole piece off. It's basically just like a big, whatever, fish nugget.
Wiper wing.
That's fantastic. So there we are. So we have those pieces done. We're going to move on to the main fillets here next. We already did take out the rib bones, but we can double check ourselves, make sure that there's no bones in there, and there aren't. However, there are, just like in a walleye or a bass or a perch or anything like that, sunfish too, they have these line of straight bones. You'll hear me click on them. And you can kind of hear them. And they're right on that lateral line. So the thing is, you just cut right above them. Just past where the rib cage ends. They only run to the rib cage. The rest of the tail and all that stuff is boneless. So I now have a slice in there. And same thing here. I'm going to cut just below them. And so I'm going to get that Y. So I'm sure you've seen this in a walleye. They have that famous Y fillet. And so this is where your bones are. You pop those out. That's garbage. The rest of this, we are going to fillet right off the skin, because we'll be eating it. And I like to do them in two pieces. That's why I like to do that middle bone section first, because it's easier to fillet. There's less meat to deal with at one time. And so you can peel all that back. Same thing, come on the top side. Again, always have your knife angling down towards whatever you're cutting at. And then it comes right off of the fillet, or right off of the skin. So I'll get that out of the way and put it in our bowl. And Savannah's going to help us here. So same thing, I'm going to repeat the process. This side will be a little bit easier for you to see. So we've already removed the rib bones. Those would all lie in here when we cut around them. And then here's those little bones. You can see them right here. This is like a really good example. Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. So again, you're going to cut on the top side of them, just to the back of the rib cage where it was. Cut down behind it. I like to run my finger in there, get it nice and separated, make sure it's down to the skin. Same thing, cut below it, just below it. You don't have to cut a ton, like ½ inch maybe, if that. And then I like to take my knife and cut underneath it. And then you get yourself a little handle, and it'll just rip up to where you stop your cut and pull that off. So again, that is the bone piece. You can kind of see those bones in there. Okay. Last part, just take the skin right off of it. And since this is the reverse side, I'm doing the upper portion first. Roll that over. Do the bottom portion. And roll that over. And there it is. So that is all done, skinless. So basically, we have one more fillet, but these are all your pieces. Again, sorry for the blood, but cheeks, wings, full fillet, another full fillet.
And if you lift up that slab of meat you got there and you look at this, really no meat left.
Yep, there's no meat wasted. That's the biggest thing. So make sure you're gonna waste a couple as you get started, but the whole goal of this whole thing is to waste as little meat as possible so you can consume its delicious golden crispy brownness.
Well done.
And that's it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the video today. I just want to go ahead and reiterate something that Lance said in the video. It's really important whenever you're keeping fish for your meals to be as mindful as is humanly possible. Take only what you need for your meals. Try to avoid wasting game whenever humanly possible, and being good with your fillet knife and your other tools of fish cleaning really matters a lot. And it's not like it takes a special tool. All we needed was a cutting board and a good, sharp, high quality fillet knife. If you are willing to spend a little bit of time and practice, you can keep more of that meat. It's better for you, it's better for the fish, it's better for the environment, it involves a lot less waste, which is better for everyone involved. As always, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please throw them down below and I'll try to get back to you. And we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.